Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Biringer, NHLRumors.com. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below. Boston Bruins making a head coaching change. Jim Montgomery out, Joe Sacco in as the new interim head coach. Things have gone from bad to worse for the Boston Bruins. Here to start this season, expectations were high, but Jim Montgomery, look, everybody knew coming into this season this could be his last season in Boston. Why? Well, lame duck coach, final year of his contract, and you think about it, he takes over for Bruce Cassidy 2022-2023 season. Cassidy goes to Vegas, they win a Stanley Cup. What happens in Boston? Well, win the President's Trophy, lose in the first round. Same kind of core there, but they haven't improved it. And each year, things have gone down, down, down. But last year, they beat the Maple Leafs in the first round, lose to the Panthers, their arch rival, in the second round. They kind of overachieved. Then the Jeremy Swayman situation happens. Things just don't get off to a good start. And then right now they're in a playoff position too in the Eastern Conference, but they don't feel like it. Too many inconsistencies, not enough good play, un-Bruin-like, as Don Sweeney said in a statement. He believes Joe Sacco can turn this thing around. You know, as a coach, look, he's one of the best out there, right? 120, 40, 21, like a 7-15 winning percentage. Like, that's really good. And, if you look at it, this isn't all Monty's fault. Again, it goes to Don Sweeney, right? Elias Lindholm contract's not well. Nikita Zadorov contract's not very good. As you go on NHLRumors.com, I did a series of contracts that made you go, whoa. And those two were on the Eastern Conference list. And look, Lindholm's been on a decline. So was Zadorov. I mean, it does take time for players to adjust to new systems and new areas. Let's see if they can turn it around. But the things go deeper, right? The roots go deeper. It's a cultural change for this team that needs to happen. The players that were there that allowed Bruce Cassidy to be fired are still there right now. They're the ones controlling the team. They're the ones dictating what Don Sweeney does. And Don Sweeney's not at fault as this either. Right now, this is his fourth coach, right? He fired Claude Julien. He hired Bruce Cassidy, fired Bruce Cassidy, hired Jim Montgomery, fired Jim Montgomery, now put Joe Sacco in an interim basis. When is ownership going to take a look at what management has done? Poor drafting dating back to 2015 and the 3 first-round draft picks. Even the second and third round players are not there anymore. Obviously, Jacob Saboro, Zach Senyshyn, Jake DeBrusk, Dan Vladar, Jeremy Lauzon. I mean, Brandon Carlo's still there, right? But then after that, with Charlie McAvoy's playing, you have Jeremy Swayman who's playing, but John Beecher's in and out of the lineup coming up from the minor. Fabian Lysell in and out from the minors as well. By this time, those draft picks and those players should be in the National Hockey League. They should be producing for your big club. They should be entering their prime, and they're not. They have yet to replace Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci. They have yet to replace Zdeno Chara, the leadership in this room. It became about me and not about the B. So, again, it has to be a lot of soul searching for this Boston Bruins team. Now, again, does Jim Montgomery have fault? Sure. The team is just not very good. And it's coaching. But is it coaching? Because let's be honest, the tools in the toolbox aren't there. And yes, the coach is the first one to take blame, but the players need to perform better. When players look disinterested and look like they quit on the coach, whose fault is that? The message was being lost, and obviously you got to fire the coach, can't fire the players. But Jim Montgomery did a good job in Boston, and that's a credit to what he was brought into and the situation he was brought into. Now, can they turn it around? Well, they're right in a playoff spot, like I said off the top. It's not like they're out of this thing, but the expectations were high, and they expect to be in the playoffs. But they haven't, and they've underperformed. Too many inconsistencies, too many penalties. PK is not very good. Power play is not very good. Not enough scoring. It's the same problems we saw with this team in their run to the Stanley Cup final under Bruce Cassidy. When the tough got going, they went away. They just didn't have the scoring. Wasn't there. And now we're going to see what Joe Sacco can do. What implementations can he bring that is different? Because right now, the biggest thing that the Boston Bruins need to do is shake the system or shock the system, to use a wrestling reference. Maybe go Winnipeg Jets style. Get the element out of the room, and let's start getting back to what it's all about. Boston franchise is always about the team, not about the player. So again, Maybe a shock to the system is what they need. Jim Biringer, NHLRumors.com. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Again, Jim Montgomery out as the head coach of the Boston Bruins. More reaction to come. Take care.